fine, or it's not. We'll find out. Yeah, so the plan today, I'm going to probably do this again in a second. The plan today is to open up Ableton, start it. No idea how it works. It's open next to me, but I'm just like, we'll see how it goes. We'll see what we can create using Ableton. I normally, when I'm learning a DAW, I feel like I take the time to like do some YouTube watching. My grandest experience is watching like super cool, and a few other people use Ableton. That's kind of it. And I think normally when I'm there hanging out, I'm just hanging out, not really going, oh, what happens there? What does this do? So we'll see. Well, normally it is the thing. I do a lot of research. I would really go out of my way. But that's not what we're doing today. There we go. I think I can full screen it, but then when I full screened it, I realized I lost a bunch of things. Have you seen that? You got both? Got the game and the capture? No. Yeah, okay, so if I do that, you see exactly what I see. Okay. And I suspect, like, it's removed of me. It's funny now, I've removed all of the sort of file, all those things. I have no idea. So yeah, we're testing out Ableton. We'll see how it goes. Full screen is nice. I do wish Cubase had that on PC. I think they have it on Mac, and I think they have it in 15. You see, I'm missing out on all this file create and so on. So I think we will keep those things. Now, what I would say is, again, like this side menu, that's nice. And that's interesting because these are basically, the library has already scanned my stuff. Interesting. I do have a Splice account, but I don't think it's linked. Yeah, I don't think it's linked, so I'm not going to do that. Also, there are templates, so I'm guessing it's like build it. Different tunings. I love this. Okay, so down the bottom, I don't know if you can see it. It might be small for you. It's giving you like an info view, so it tells you a bunch of things. So if you hover over something, it really gives you a lot of detail. Again, that's quite cool. Samples. That sounds a little bit 9 Inch Nails. I don't know why. Yeah, like Cubase has this, but you have to open the window, and I think it's over this side. Oh no, not Nin. Okay. So it looks like you've got all these kind of things. It's very cool. I do like that. It's got MIDI effects, so you can add arpeggios, you can add, what's C control? I don't know. Chords. That's cool. You can add expression chords, MIDI effects, MIDI monitor. Oh, that's cool. You can adjust note lengths based on these things. I mean, that's lots of options here. You can adjust the pitch by like clicking on one of these. Pretty handy. And your audio effects. I like that you can audition. I'm a fan of this. I think it's useful to have these things in a DAW, because I think it's nice to be able to audition a sound before you actually then bring it in. I think there's nothing worse than bringing it into your track and then realizing it doesn't fit. And I think when you can do something like this, it's really helpful. So just out of curiosity, if we said, it said drop an instrument or sample here. So if we drop this here, does that work like that? It does. I don't know why. In my mind, I was thinking that sounds a little bit like Twin Peaks. Okay, so you literally just drag a piano into it. So what if you wanted to get rid of it? How do you do that? Also, what if would I just click record? Is that it? Where does that sit? Is that it? Where does that sit? There you go. That was what I was playing. Okay. So why does that sit like that? Where's my track? What am I missing? Oh, do you know what's funny? I keep on looking like hovering is going to tell me what the thing is, forgetting that this info view down here is telling me everything. That says overload indicator. This says session view, toggle between session and arrangement view. Okay. There you go. Oh, they've got a drum rack as well. Interesting. What? When do I just drag this here? No. Is that how it works? So if I select this track, for example, then I drag this. Okay, so how are we doing these? I'm just playing around with this. I thought it'd be fun to at least try and get an understanding of a different DAW. So strange to see it done like this. I'm like, what am I missing? Sounds like Tool? Is everything going to sound like something else? Is that what we're doing? Okay, you don't do that. Oh, there was a note that I was like, I wanted to get rid of. I do like this being here as well. I think it's handy to see it. Flat here. Oh, and it shows me where I'm editing. You see that in this? It's giving me that view, and this is what I just edited. It's so strange because in Cubase you could create like a track thing here and then just build on that. Like so you would then go into this and then be like, right. Oh, okay. I see. There we go. What if you then said, I'm happy with this? Just for example. Did you just paste that? Okay. Oh, okay. Cool. That's interesting. Can you preview these? No. How do I get this section to repeat? Like that. Oh. That. But I thought it would be interesting to hear and see what we can do with these things. Right, so what if we wanted to just reset? Ah, okay, so you can rename it from here. That's quite useful. You can bounce it in place, so it's a right click. There you go. That answers that question. Okay, all right. Let's, for argument's sake, let's just clear this out. Let's remove this, right? Let's remove. I just want to start again. Okay, so it's as simple as just doing that, for example. Oh, okay, gotcha. That makes way more sense. I'm making it more complicated for myself than I needed to. So if we took a sample, and then we said, we're going to take this, say I want to do this. Okay. Okay. Why don't we scroll back over this way? If then I wanted to make this way shorter, just out of curiosity, can I just do this? And then say, give me. Okay. I could change this. I can change the scale like this. That's cool. That just that one? No. Okay, so I'd have to change them all. Okay. What can I do with this? Can I change this around in any way, shape, or form? Yes. I can adjust the length and the signature, the time signature. I can make it follow. I find that so annoying that that is still doing that. Indubitably, yes. I have no understanding of this. You know? Let me try this. Nice. Okay, so how would I... Can I just do this? Hold on. No, I don't want to extend that. And then I would just want that to repeat. So how would I do that? Can I just copy these? Right, copy that. Can I then just paste it? Yes, I can. Oh, I had this thing over here. No, I didn't even realize. I was like, why isn't it repeating? Yeah. Hey, look, it's 9 Inch Nails. But how would you turn this down? Where's the mixer? Oh, you just do it here, right? Yeah. So funny, I'm trying to scroll with it and it's not doing anything. So how would I cut this? If I wanted to cut that there, how do I cut that? How do I say I want this bit cut here? No, I don't want to cut. I want to have a slice. I want to have a slice. I want to cut like that bit of audio. I guess I'm just going to use this, right? Because I'm going to go over here and then just reduce the size of it. It's so weird. I'm looking for like a option. I'm not seeing. Well, can I just skip about here? No. Oh, that's interesting. So I shouldn't have changed the warp because then it warped it to fit the project. That's why it was warped. So can I reverse this? I can. Interesting. I appreciate that these are just stock noises, but it's interesting to see what the options are. What? Okay, I mean, like, that's a lot of fun. Okay, no way you want it that loud. Does this duplicate? Oh, that's cool. Okay, so if I did that, it's interesting that it's got a fade on it immediately. So you can clearly copy and just have your session stuff like carry over. Like I really want that in the back. And then could I just remove the crossfade? I could. Interesting. All right, so can we duplicate? No. I don't want that. And duplicate, I'm guessing just duplicates the track. Yes. Because what I want to do is, can I just do Control A? Yeah. And then just paste? Yeah. Sweet. I've inadvertently made something that sounds a little bit like 9 Inch Nails. Yeah. There you go. This is how our mixer appears down here. Like, I'd want to bring everything down. You see there, we didn't have a lot of headroom. Is it picking up my microphone? I'm just wondering. Or is it picking up something up? Okay. Right, what else do we need? I don't know. I'm going to add in another track. What button is it? Control T. That makes sense. And then, okay, so if you selected the wrong track type, I think you're kind of stuck, no? Save as default audio track now. So if I wanted to do a MIDI track, I can't just change this. That's fair, I just want to be sure. Oh, and then you can tidy this up as well. So like there you go, you can just kind of minimize those. Yeah, no, what it is some DAWs let you modify the type of track that you've just put. I want to edit this part. I want to add stuff to it. How do I do it? Do I just click add here? Ah, okay. So wait there. Do I need this on to do that? Or no, I can just do that anytime. Oh, okay. Well, that's a lot more sense. Gotcha. There's no preview. There's no preview, that's it. Again, I'm sure I'm missing something. Okay. Nope. Okay. No. No. Okay. That's cool. We can make it legato? What? Okay. Bear with while I just fiddle around with this. Do we have like a root? Like a bass note? We did this. Ah, okay. I go back here. Ah. Can we bring you down a bit? No. Okay, that's cool. Can I select these in here? Yes. And then paste those. Yes. Okay, good. Oh, so navigation is like, it's tied to that. No. I wouldn't, I think that's not how I would have that sit. Okay. So interesting they don't do like a preview. No, I don't like that. Keep that the same. Interesting. It's quite similar in many ways to Cubase. It's interesting seeing how they arrange, how your arrangement works, and how these things sit. And like then you could just what? How do you copy this? Just go like that and then paste it. All right, fair enough. Okay. I think it's that thing of like, there's some stuff that I would do very differently. You can randomize the velocity. That's nice. Let's go back. We can. We can do things like this. And then you can also, is that the length? Oh, you can do it there? No? No? Okay, what is that? Velocity. Silly me. That's cool. I'll get it back to play that. Okay. I mean, there's definitely work to be done. I think this is interesting seeing it, like I say, just in a completely different DAW. Oh, hold on. So can we do it all? No. How would we make that change? Oh, and then we can move that around. Okay. This is interesting. It's interesting seeing just a completely different approach. Obviously, is still intended in the same way. Oh, so you click on duplicate and it just does it. Ah, okay. If we clicked on this, I can just do what? Duplicate and then do it again. Ableton, how are you doing? The thing is, I like what we've got in terms of the other noises. I'm not overly loving this bit. But I'm intrigued as to how they let you build those. And let's say I just want to get rid of this section. Can I just do, oh, a split is there. Right, so you see there, now we've got a split. That's how that works, gotcha. So we would need to right click the thing itself. So you'd say there, and then you would, oh, that's cool. Look, so you can deactivate the clip. Vito, I hope you're doing all right. I hope you're having a decent day. So you deactivate the clip. So that particular bit just won't play. It's gonna lurk and listen for now? No, okay, gotcha. Dude, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad that at least we can provide some distraction. Okay, so then if I took this, right, and then I said I'm gonna start again, is there a way to clear all of this? You can quantize, that's nice. But you're just quantizing what you've highlighted or no? Had a huge scare on the way to work this morning? How so? And obviously only share if you feel comfortable to do so. I'm intrigued. I think maybe not this instrument. So how would you change the instrument? So this would be our mixer, almost. Yeah? Yeah. You shut the... How would we... Right, so we'd click on this. Okay. You see here, so we have to, if we click on this, how does that take it back to the view? No, that, okay. We go here, That brings this back. And then if we go here, how do we go back to edit mode? This, then yeah, feel free to share where you want to share, and again, no pressure, man. Okay, see the difference a friggin' instrument change makes? Like, for me, that's gone from something that didn't quite fit to let's hear it now. Oh my gosh, just start again, please. See? See what I mean? So does that mean now, if we extend this? Yes, okay, so that would have this. Right, that's cool. Okay, so within this, how would I change that? Ah, I see. Okay, so this little section here takes us back into this. This lets us change the instrument. Okay, I'm getting it. So how would we go over to the other bit? So for example, I was happy with, and I was happy with like this first bar. And I want to duplicate that rather than everything else. So that would be the first bar. How would I get rid of this though? Oh, that's cool, because then you can just click on listen and then you'll listen to just that bit. And I will say that is cool. I changed the instrument and then the name of the track changed to the different instrument. So whatever I changed it to, that's what it then became. This is cool. Like, I know it's taking resources for it to do it. I think that's really handy. But like, if we then brought a groove in, how does this work? No. So we would need something on a track first? Yeah. We're going to insert a MIDI. We have to do this. Oh. Okay. So then how would we would have to bring an instrument. Okay. Okay. So let's So how do I is there an easy way to duplicate this without having to right click? No. Oh, you just duplicate it like that. Okay. And then I guess like the more I would play around with this, the more I would get shortcuts. Why did that do that? Oh. I was like, why isn't it working? Because I was doing it completely the wrong way. Like, I'm hearing sounds, and I feel like this is the kind of thing where you could spend ages auditioning sounds. And I think probably what I would end up doing is I would likely start marking things as my favorites. Okay, so we've got none of these. You know, like all of this, it doesn't know any of these things. It doesn't know where my samples are. Yeah. Like, there are clearly lots of tools and effects and things like that. This is the Lite version, so I will say it's probably limited in what I can do. Creator? What? Right, okay, gotcha. I was like, what do you mean? I know it scanned my plugins, so I know it knows quite a lot of them. But it's, how do you fit everything all together? Ableton Lite and overwhelming. Yeah, I mean, I think if you, again, you know, I said to MDB earlier, I deliberately did nothing in terms of like trying to understand beforehand. I didn't want to come into this and be like, oh, I know everything, or having read or watched or learned anything beforehand. I just wanted to be like, let's just approach it like we've never seen this before. So you're a sound, right? Okay. So then if we did a groove. What does that say? What do you sound like just on your own? No, okay. So we would just do this, and then, no? So this is what I'm saying. Like some of this stuff, I feel like I'm still learning, and I would be learning. And I think if I was approaching this to just work on it, not for the sake of like showing this approach, I would probably be like, well, okay, let me start with as much learning as possible. I didn't really want to spend like ages with everyone just watching me watch somebody else talk about how to use Ableton. That's interesting. Like a lot of those feel really interesting because it gives you beginning points. Then, so say for example now, I don't know how you close that bottom bit. Okay. Then is this one playing now or not? It is. So I think there are some really cool UI things I like. There are some other things that I'm like, I do feel like I miss from other DAWs. Again, I think, you know, if I sat with it and just learn as much as I possibly could, I'm sure I get much more out of the experience. But like in terms of just putting something together for the sake of it and seeing what we can do, I think that's quite good. I mean, I was saying there's a lot of things I like. I'm sure people probably turn off the info view or not. But like that is really handy because when I'm hovering over something, it's telling me what is what. It's telling me, you know, like this is my CPU usage while I'm doing this. You know, I do find this strange though. I'm used to seeing like 2 view options. I'm quite surprised by like this basically being your mix console, and then this being your actual tracks. Yeah, exactly. Chris, how are you? Yeah, I think it's just an adjustment. I also think like you could spend a fair amount of time just getting to understanding where things are. You know, there are stuff like, I don't know if we're just missing an option, but say for example here, to split, you know, I'm used to having a button up here that lets me select something to then split. Now it might be that I just don't have it in my toolbar, and it could be something as simple as that, but I don't know that. And I'd rather you put that there and then me get annoyed with it being in my way. Because I tell you what, Reaper and Cubase, and I think even Reason, all have something like that that kind of sits in your top bar. Again, it could be the case that I just don't see it. It could be something that I haven't toggled on. You know, there's my mixer. For me, it wasn't obvious that I didn't have a mixer there. I was just like, oh, I guess I'll switch back and that will give me my mixer view. You know, that wasn't obvious. And I'm sure you can probably, I'd be surprised if you couldn't. Normally you can put like some mixer stuff here. I don't mind this being on this side. I know, again, sometimes there are some Reaper themes which basically make you do the similar layout. And I really think, and I was saying this before, I really think this is a nice touch. I don't know how to get rid of this now. Like, how do I close this? I'm not using this anymore. How do I get rid of it? But I like being able to preview. I like being able to go like, I can see how that fits. Yeah, Chris, I hope you've had a decent day. MDB, this is what we've come up with so far. Like, there are some really cool things I like. Again, I'm just wondering, what am I missing? Is there stuff in the view that I should have at the top? What's clip view? You know, yeah, boo, work, exactly. Work. Okay, so that's interesting. You can do that. Groove pool. Oh. So I literally double clicked on something, and then because of that appeared. Just say no. Just say no. And I'm used to something that lets me minimize and get rid of my mix track. Like, how would I then just minimize this? Because I do think this bottom panel is nice. I wish, but I like having a job. I mean that. Because mirror. We're not following along. Okay, good. So that button's similar, you know. But yeah, there's just a couple of things I'm like, I don't really get where that is and how I would bring this in. So I think it sounded like Nine Inch Nails mashed with Mario. You're welcome. Yeah, I don't know. I think the Agogo at a Bucks, that has a real Nine Inch Nail vibe to me, and I don't know why. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. And I do think, you know, like these kinds of things here, the info view is very helpful. Like I say, I like being able to preview. I like they give me options. I like that it adjusts the time signature and fixes to the track that you're making or the project that you're making. So, you know, I think there's some charm to it for sure. I think I'd be really wary about using too much stock stuff for obvious reasons, because I think, again, you potentially get yourself into a huge argument with people over, I use this sound and I use this sound, and then somebody's like, it's the same. Then it might not be. What does that do? So I think lots of options. I'd probably want to do more. So what is this? Save live set? What? Is that what it's called? Save live set, so we'd have to save it as that. Can we not just click save? No. Oh, right. So you can turn that off as well. So yeah, I mean, I enjoy it. I think I'd want to play around with it more, so we'll see. Hold on. Okay. I quite like that. I can hear possibilities, and I think that's the thing that I would say, is that, like, if you're into any kind of music production, you will hear stuff and you'll be like, oh, I get ideas. So I feel like there are a lot of options. It's potentially a little bit overwhelming. So I think you're right about that. This is only the Lite version, so I don't even know in terms of like what else is possible. Yeah, we'll see if I do this again. I mean, I don't know.